it also gives some AI input of based on your curvature of your spine, this is what you're looking like. The cool thing about that is you can use that as your initial start before even getting in the pod, and then you can see the changes that are going on, because the whole thing is diagnostic is great, and especially AI is very good and it's going to be eventually better than us.
Well, if you're under oxidative stress, if you have poor nutrition, physical stress, there's many things that cause that zeta potential to be lost and your blood does not flow as well. And what's really cool is exposure to the right frequencies, the right wavelengths of light restores that zeta potential. And that's one way that this laser pod is going to restore health.
Okay, guys, Dr. Richard Albright and Dr. Phil Harrington from SUMMUS Medical Laser. We've never had guests specialize in this field, so thanks for your time, gentlemen.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, for those that don't know what SUMMUS is about, could you explain what's going on?
Well, we've been doing this for about 22 years in class 4 laser therapy, and that's more of the portable, targeted area. And so we would basically treat a neck, a shoulder, a knee. But over the last 3 to 5 years, everyone kept asking us, they feel so good that they wanted to, you have something that you can do a whole body. And the technology wasn't available yet. And so we have just launched, ever came out with the first fully synchronized laser pod that's unattended. It's a class 4 laser that basically we're positioning it as a cellular regeneration suite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow, that's exciting.
Cool.
So Phil, break that down. What exactly is happening for the common person to understand?
I know it's really awesome the way it is, and seeing this start out with laser therapy and seeing how well that works, and now to have the technology available to do this. So really what we're doing is the patient will lay in there in the laser pod, and it really delivers full body photonic energy to the entire body. So there's 7 different wavelengths working at the same time. Some of those wavelengths will be fairly shallow in penetration. Some of them, like 810 and 1064, will penetrate much deeper into the body. But the really important thing to always remember, we're going to say this many times, it's laser. It is true laser. This is the first laser pod, first laser bed. And that hits the mitochondria in the body. You get that systemic energy production. So really what you're doing is helping with the body's energy and natural repair processes. And, you see all of these LED panels and things like that. They're fine.
Yeah.
But that red light, and with it being light emitting diodes, it just doesn't penetrate as deeply. And there's really no coordination of those treatments. So the laser pod really fills that gap. You get that full body systemic treatment for a true whole body system effect. And so there's no gaps. It's all gains.
Wow.
No gaps, all gains. So you got a multi-wavelength device that does this in a hands-free way. Really helps the doctor to scale their practice.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm pumped to try it out, actually, because I use the red light sauna a lot. But you're saying this gets even deeper than that?
Yes, deeper. It's non-invasive. People come out less brain fog, athletes recovery. So, as we evolved and practiced, and then doing this for 22 years as a manufacturer, the athletes, the high-end consumer, they don't want a treatment. They want a competitive advantage. And so this gives them that competitive advantage. And again, it feels soothing. It's a great patient experience, and people will actually love this thing.
Yeah. How long do you have to stay inside of it for?
Average is we got about 15 minutes.
Oh, that's quick.
So you can just get in and out. So if you're an athlete, before a workout, after a workout, an executive, in between a meeting, or if you have one at your house, it could be your daily ritual.
Wow. Yeah, that's way quicker than I thought, actually.
Right.
Sometimes with the red light, you got to stay in front of it for a long time.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, because we're changing it, like Dr. Phil had said, from LED, which doesn't penetrate as deep. So now we're creating a lot more, they call it joules, into the body, so you don't need as much time.
Nice. What's the feedback been so far? I know it's new, but have people been using it?
Yeah, we've been using it in our office. We've been testing it for it's been about 2 years. We've been working on this particular project. The feedback's awesome. People just absolutely love it. So we're really excited. We were just here this week at a conference to show it off, and we've got several pre-orders already. Yeah, wow.
So it works out well.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do.
No, I know.
Yeah, because it's a high ticket price.
It's a high ticket item, but we have such a great reputation in the industry that now we're just taking what we've done for many years in the handheld lasers and now shifting it into the laser pod.
Nice. Does it affect other parts of the area other than muscle, like the brain too?
Yeah, so it's, again, with it getting that whole body exposure, you're getting that full systemic effect. And, there certainly is mitochondria in the tissues and the cells in the body. There's also free-floating mitochondria in the bloodstream. So what this is with the laser pod, it's about giving the cells the right light inputs to help boost that mitochondrial ATP production. And that helps to reduce oxidative stress, and it helps to encourage the body's own repair mechanisms. So, you don't have to be an overcharging elite athlete to need this repair. Everyone needs it. Yeah. Everyone in daily life needs this. And you get that full body coverage, you get that systemic effect. So everything from recovery to daily energy, you just feel more balanced and more sustained. All right. So you stick with it all day long. And, really the point is biology responds to energy. And, what the laser pod does is it floods the cells with those light frequencies that they need to recharge and regenerate.
Yeah. Yeah. The bodies are being attacked by so many different angles now.
Yes.
It's not just if you're an athlete, right?
You got EMF. You got
Wi-Fi, microplastics,
pollution, diet, stress, life.
This is a big one. Yeah. I track my stress. It's crazy how stressed we're just all the time, like 6 hours a day.
Yeah, especially living out here in Las Vegas.
The air is so dry.
Yeah.
Vegas can destroy you. You guys are here for a week and you kind of get a little taste of it, right?
Right, yeah. Yeah, my lips are chapped.
I've been chapped for years, ever since I moved here. So you also talk about shifting from a reactive healthcare to proactive optimization, right? I think that's a big movement these days.
Absolutely. And so it's, longevity is systemic. And so you change the mindset of the physician to, from reactive medicine to proactive. The laser pod as Dr. Phil was saying, it has complete cellular energy throughout the body for total body optimization. And it leaves no biological gaps.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff does have gaps or side effects these days.
Right, yeah. Or, even with the treatments that we started with, like if somebody had back pain, we will be using the laser on their back. Well, but if you think about, if you're looking at it from an injury pain management standpoint, if, let's say you sprain your knee, well, that's going to affect, downstream down in your leg and upstream up into your hip. Now with the laser pod, we can do that whole body treatment to hit everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been having wicked back pain lately. I really want to try this. Is there any in Vegas yet?
A very high-end consumer right now at the moment, but not yet. But they'll be coming in pretty soon.
You guys want to go the B2B route mainly, like wellness centers and doctor offices, or
B2B and then B2C for the high-end consumer that usually has the income, and all some of these guys have their own particular physical therapists
right.
But again, like we were saying, it's unattended. It's going to it, hitting the button, jumping in, and then in and out in 15 minutes, and which makes it, and it's very safe. The pod actually has sonar in it to measure the body, to know the size they are, to deliver the exact dose for that particular person.
That's crazy.
And knows their skin color.
What?
And will monitor any temperature if it got over a certain degree. So
that's impressive. Is that AI?
No, that's normal. That's just normal sonar.
Built in.
Yeah, that's built in into all our devices.
That's really incredible. I haven't heard of something like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're trying to make it very safe and very easy to use.
Yeah, well done. We got to get one to Brian Johnson.
Funny you should say that.
Oh, you're in talks? Wow, I had no idea. That's funny. I know he's on the cutting edge of stuff like this. So
definitely.
Yeah. From what we understand, he's also on he'll be on the cover soon on one of the big famous magazines.
Wow, shout out to him, man.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of people interested in health.
Right. I think he just started in 2023.
Pretty new to the space. Yeah, I know guys like Asprey and Ben Greenfield have been around for decades, but Brian really made a scene quick.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're old hats. I mean, but we've been literally, even with the targeted lasers, we've been doing it for 22 years.
Wow.
And
I feel like you were ahead of your time with that.
Yes, because back then they would stare at you differently, look at recitals.
Longevity wasn't cool back then.
Longevity wasn't cool. It wasn't the next thing, but we were targeting more for pain. And interesting enough, where it really caught on to was in the veterinarian field.
Really?
And the vets were using it for their animals, and our saying in our offices, animals don't lie, people do. And so when you see an animal limping, and then you can actually, treat that particular animal, and all of a sudden he's running 1 or 2 treatments afterwards.
Wow.
It shows you what's really happening with the cellular side of the laser.
That's a big sell.
It's really been an advancement of the research behind the mechanisms, how this works. How does the light interact with the tissues? How deep does it go? What chromophores is it hitting? What's happening inside the body? So, in the past 22 years, we've had researchers around the world developing these mechanisms. Now that helps us as equipment manufacturers put that into our technology. And that's, one thing, SUMMUS Medical Laser, we've always been a very science-based company. So we're going to take all of that relevant science and put it into our equipment to get the best outcomes.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the wellness space, that science part gets lost.
Yeah, or it kind of goes backwards, or they make something and try to fit the science to it. So
because a lot of even supplements, you think you're doing the right thing, and then you look what's actually in them.
Right.
Right. Yeah, they're not really checked by a third party. So I've been navigating that space.
And from the physician side, though, now you're moving from a symptom management to a system optimization.
Yes.
Which we think is the future of medicine.
Really? So elaborate more on that. What do you see going on with that?
Well, everyone, and I think this is probably since COVID, when the government would tell us that we have to have this shot to make us feel better, they forgot that we have an innate ability to heal ourselves. And so I think it woke a lot of people up. We've been in this space for a long time, so we knew the body heals itself.
Yeah.
So now more and more people are rushing in to learn more about, hey, there's all these particular devices or tools or nutrition that's available that I need to get on the stick, and my body needs to perform better. Because as we age, it's declining cellular power, and so, what this pod does is to increase more energy into that area. Thus, you're going to work more on a peak performance opposed to always feeling,
tired.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. I love what you said about the body healing itself too. Because I think growing up, I didn't think that way at all. Guys, if you're into optimizing your health, performance, or longevity, there's an event coming up that's actually pretty interesting. It's called Biohackers World. It brings together a bunch of researchers, founders, and health innovators talking about things like metabolic health, gut health, stress, recovery, longevity, and AI-powered health systems. It's basically 2 days of conversations and technology focused on helping people perform better and stay healthier long term. There are over 30 talks, 35 speakers, and more than 60 companies showcasing new health tech. If that's your world, you can check it out at biohackers.world and use code DSH30 to get 30% off your ticket. It's called Biohackers World. Check it out at biohackers.world and use code DSH30 to get 30% off your ticket.
Yeah. And it's such a strange mindset, we as former chiropractors, that's what we're taught in chiropractic school is that the body can heal itself, above, down, inside out. The body has the ability to heal itself. And now that we are able to use technologies like this to help the body to heal itself, we're not putting any drugs in, not doing any surgery. We're using light in such a way that it stimulates healing in the body.
Right.
And one really cool thing, and this is a topic that I just got interested in the last few months, is the term is called zeta potential of the blood. And so you have the blood flowing throughout the body, and normally red blood cells should have a little bit of negative charge so that they should repel each other. When you get down to the capillary level, so they can flow through the capillaries carrying the oxygen and the nutrients. Well, if you're under oxidative stress, if you have poor nutrition, physical stress, there's many things that cause that zeta potential to be lost, and your blood does not flow as well.
Wow.
And what's really cool is exposure to the right frequencies, the right wavelengths of light restores that zeta potential. And that's one way that this laser pod is going to restore health.
Exciting.
It really is cool.
So that being said, because a lot of guys have issues in bed, right? And you're saying lack of blood flow.
Right.
Could this potentially help ED?
Could potentially help that too. So blood flow, another effect, another mechanism, and again, thank goodness to the researchers that studied this technology, is you do get a release of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a vasodilator. That's going to further help with the blood flow.
Right.
So that's another way that, yes, it can help.
Yeah, there's whole nitric oxide companies.
Right.
You know,
Definitely.
because of that blood flow issue right now. A lot of people seem to be having it, even younger people. People in their 20s.
Right. And why is that?
Right.
Yeah, that's the real question.
Yeah.
The food they're eating, or is it the microplastics? Like,
I think it's everything, right?
Yes. Yeah.
There's so many things going wrong.
Getting hit by so many things. Now,
Yeah.
And now here with the laser pod, that's a way to address those things.
Yeah. Wow. So you guys are like on the cutting edge of the chiropractic space. That's exciting.
You seem to always be ahead of it, Aaron, in that form. But not even just chiropractic, but now it's more going into the longevity space. These guys get it. You know, they're it's been exciting for us to be more. We've always been in it, but we haven't.
Yeah.
You know?
But
now we're really targeting this longevity space, and these consumers, and being on a podcast like you that are preaching, this type of stuff that we do.
get the information out there. Yeah. I think that's the key, right? Because this isn't really taught anywhere.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
People find out about it on a
We're
podcast.
grateful to have this platform with you, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you guys been going to a lot of longevity conferences and events?
We probably the last year and a half, but now it's more exciting, because if we were showing our portable lasers, they were like, it takes time, right? And so this is another big thing for a physician, is now he can be doing his other stuff, putting someone in the pod unattended. He doesn't need additional staff.
Right.
And so that he's also, if you're coming into income, he's making additional revenue off of that without having to utilize extra people to hire.
Good plan.
And that's been a bigger thing. And so back to the longevity doctors, is they're so busy doing other things, they don't have another person to wave, a laser on them.
That's a good point.
So they can go in there.
Same with chiropractors. There's so much manual work. This could really help.
Right. Sure. And a lot of times in chiropractic, we teach them, it's like, hey, you get those additional therapies that are unattended, that they're working for you, opposed to you having to do everything.
Yeah. How are you guys dealing with the skeptics? Because this is such a new technology. Are you getting any hate or criticism?
It's not really new technology. A laser in general has been, what would you say? Is it 50 years? 60?
Hell, it's longer than 60s when the laser device was invented. And skepticism is healthy. That's great. We face skepticism all along our pathways. I remember my early days of using these devices in my own office, that people would, ask me, you're crazy. You shine light on somebody and they feel better. And again, going back to that understanding of mechanisms and showing them how it works. Once you can explain how it works, then the skeptics will be, okay,
Right.
I get it. Now, there is still some skepticism, and that's healthy. But, what we find, you got decades of research in this topic of using light to have a biological effect on tissues. And what it proves is that these treatments do help with mitochondrial function and resolving inflammatory stress. All right. And those are two big things when it comes to health, wellness, longevity, energy, and so on. And so, what we're doing with this laser pod that we're introducing, you got that precision, you've got the depth, you got the dosage control, you got that full body synchronization to really, really help the body. And, now it's not, biology isn't about belief. Okay. Biology responds to this energy. All right. And so that's the way we're able to get the outcomes with the laser pod.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Where do you see this thing going in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you think this is going to be mainstream by then?
We hope so. Yeah. I mean, I think it starts, again, the physicians and the ones that are the early adopters. And then once they jump on, then I think it starts to, move up in the rankings.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's got stress, inflammatory stress, especially, right. I feel like.
Yeah. And then, things to look for in our laser pod. Right now we were talking about the way it's able to measure the patient and check their skin tone and things of that nature. But checking markers to the response to the treatment and using AI to analyze those results and then build custom protocols of the machine. That's part of our future.
Yeah, I just went to the dentist. He's using AI now. So he does the scans, the cone beam scans, throws it in the AI. I love that. I think that's the future. Same with blood work too.
For sure. Yeah. We have another device, and it's called the VisBody, and it basically measures your metabolic health, measures posture, and then what we get out of that is you can see where they're at for their metabolic health, from body fat percentages, and extracellular water. That one's cool. We had that here this weekend.
You should have come to the show.
And
I know my posture is so bad too. I want to try that.
But then it also gives some AI input of what, based on your curvature, your spine, and this is what you're looking like. And then the cool thing about that is you can use that as your initial start before even getting in the pod. And then you can see the changes that are going on.
I love that.
Because the whole thing is, diagnostic is great. And especially AI is very good, and it's going to be eventually better than us.
Oh, it might be already, but yeah,
for sure.
It'll be way better in the future.
Right.
Even with surgeries, they're saying they're going to be better, which is crazy.
Sure.
But I definitely want to try that because I have scoliosis. I also have arthritis in my back and neck. So.
And what is arthritis? Inflammation.
Yeah.
So if we remove inflammation, the healing, starts taking place.
Yeah. I've had chronic inflammation in my back for, I think, years now. Yeah. My lifestyle, I sit down all day,
Richard, we found a patient.
Yeah. Well, they say sitting is terrible for you, right? So when you're sitting down all day.
Working out, and having that healthy lifestyle definitely helps. Well, I'm not saying you're not healthy. It's part of the everything.
Yeah.
And this is a piece of the puzzle of everything that's out there.
Absolutely. For people watching this, how can they learn more and check out the site and everything?
Yeah. So our site is thelaserpod.com. We put the in front of it because it is the first.
Clever.
And then I'm sure we're going to have some video of the pod rolling that we're going to send to you and be able to put this on the screen.
Beautiful. Anything else, guys, you want to close off with here?
Well, I guess I'll just say that, we've been at this a long time. I know we're a little bit older than you, but, I think that part of having this, both of us using photobiomodulation devices in our own healthcare has helped to keep us healthy and the ones around us, all, using these light devices. But then also, this is a non-invasive treatment. It feels good, but it has all of these tremendous systemic benefits for health. So it's definitely something to look at, and it's something that is really going to be a part of that trend towards proactive healthcare as we move into the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and and we're not promising miracles. We're just actually restoring energy into the area. So the pod puts the control back in your hands. It's one system every stage of life.
Well said. We'll link the website below and your social media handles. Thanks for coming on, gentlemen.
All right. Thank you.
Look forward to trying it myself.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. Check them out, guys. Link in the description. See you next time.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end, guys. Please hit like and subscribe. It helps us grow the show and helps us get bigger guests. Thank you so much.